Do you remember that scene in The Simpsons after Homer Simpson has been fighting with former President George Bush for the entire episode? And finally, the Bushes move out of Springfield. And in comes a new truck, and in comes more movers, and in comes a new couple. And walking across is another former ex president, well, I guess ex president, and Gerald Ford. And as they're walking, before they both fall and say, go together, Gerald Ford looks over and says, Homer, do you like football? Do you like nachos? And that's us. Every single one of us is Homer Simpson trying to escape. Maybe it's Bush, maybe it's Clinton, maybe it's somebody else. I don't give a shit. But it's trying to escape that. Just the every single day and going on. And it's Sunday. It's finally Sunday. And you know what? Maybe a lot of your shit got destroyed in the 1 o'clock hour. Maybe most of it got decimated in the 4. We're here for you for Sunday night. We're all little Ford and Homer. We just need football. And maybe you need some nachos. That's okay. Hey, you know what you need is a new bet at BetMGM right away. All right, $10 gets $200 right back. 21 or older, gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Don't worry, I have a parlay for you over at BetMGM that I'm going to give you for your first $10, so you can smash that and get the $200 back. First play, we're going to build a 3-leg same game parlay, and I've got anytime touchdowns for you. First leg in our 3-leg parlay is the under. We're going under 43 in this Sunday night game. You've got the Raiders and Steelers. Both of these teams are going to be heavily focused on winning this game on defense. And for the Steelers, that's really their only shot. I get it. Kenny Pickett needs to get a little bit better, and you've got George Pickens. We'll talk about him in a second here. But for the most part, you're going to get a couple of scores. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to be 3-0 heading into the final frame, and we're going to be asking, why didn't we bet no score for an anytime? You're going to get a couple of scores here, but ultimately this game will be controlled on defense. Jimmy Garoppolo has not looked sharp. I understand that as well. But ultimately for us, you're still 2 points above a key number. It should be a lower scoring game. So I don't have any problem. This game could land easily on 41, and we're going to look like geniuses going under 43. It doesn't matter what it lands on as long as it goes under that number. So, number one, offense is just not going to have the look. The Raiders are not going to be able to throw much, and that's going to be a big problem for Jimmy Garoppolo. They are going to have to make a concerted effort to stick to Josh Jacobs, Zamir White, anybody else they can find to carry the rock. Because Devontae Adams, get a little outside the box here with your plays. And that brings us to our second play, which is just going to be Jimmy G. Under 231.5 passing yards. I don't know how he hits this number. First off, you've got the Pittsburgh Steelers defense that is just ultra aggressive, especially against the pass. The pass rush is there, putting on pressure. All of that is there. It just doesn't make a lot of sense that Garoppolo would be able to, in my opinion at least, skirt around this absurd pass rush and start lighting up this Steelers secondary. In fact, and we're going to get to this with an anytime, there's going to be way more of a focus to run the football. There has to be to run the football for the Raiders. Otherwise, you're cooked. You're going to lose Sunday night, to a team that has very little offense. Now, that little offense is George Pickens. George Pickens is the guy that clearly Kenny Pickett can rely on, has to rely on, has to target an immense amount of times. 10 targets minimum for George Pickens, or the Steelers offense just non-existent. You have to make another, just like we talked about the Raiders making a concerted effort to stick with the run game. Kenny Pickett to George Pickens has to happen, or this team is just absolutely flat out cooked. All right. So, yes, when I look at this as a whole, I'm thinking, all right, plus 469. I boosted this over on FanDuel. Don't worry. I'm going to give it to you as your first $10 bet on BetMGM. All right. So you've signed up. You've taken 40 seconds out of there. You've signed up. You're on BetMGM. Don't worry. I got anytime TDs. I got anytime TDs coming. Don't you go anywhere. You thumbs up and subscribed, right? Right? No? Jeez. I'm not asking for anything. I'm giving. And all I ask are those two small things. All right. Here we go. This is your parlay over at BetMGM, courtesy of the Odd Shopper Premium Tool. Again, it's your first bet. $10 pays out $221. All right. And we're going Pierce in Indy, technically at Baltimore, but Pierce, Colts under 3.5 grabs. Wilson, all right, in Jets territory, under 20.5 longest reception. There's Amari sighting, over 57.5 receiving yards, a healthy Amari Cooper. Dameon Pierce not catching the football out of the backfield, under 12.5 receiving yards for Houston. And Rico Dowdle. Look, let me tell you, I put this out there on Twitter, 11% EV plus 115 on BetMGM. This is the best bet you can place across the entire book. And we found it for you with an 11% EV. The market is in minus territory, and you're getting plus 115 back. So that's a plus 210 parlay. Pierce, Wilson, Coop, Pierce. A couple of Pierces in the house. And Dowdle. Love that. Fantastic stuff. Again, that's your first bet. See how easy that is? Now, let's get to some anytime touchdowns. All right, let's not bury the lead here. We talked about the necessity for Kenny Pickett to get the rock to George Pickens. So our first touchdown play is going to be George Pickens. And we got him north of 2-1, which I think is absolutely fine and okay. No issues, no worries, no concerns. It's just a matter of getting to that Raiders secondary, finding ways. Look, it's on Matt Canada, and I hate to say this because it's Matt Canada has no idea what he's doing, but it's on Matt Canada to continue to find innovative ways to get George Pickens the ball, especially in scoring spots. Unfortunately, when you say that phrase and you end it with Matt Canada, it's kind of an oxymoron because Canada himself is a moron. But we're not giving up. Give me George Pickens anytime touchdown. TJ Watt. This defensive, like what they are doing on D, you better wake up. What they are doing on defense is enough to cause havoc. A fumble, a scoop and score, or pick six is in the works tonight. I can see it. It's a crystal ball that's formulating right now. It's out there. It's out there. You know what? It's one that we love. At 7-1, you better sign me up on that. Steelers defense anytime. So those are your two Steelers touchdowns. Pickens anytime, Steelers anytime. Look, we're getting close here. 28 points. I understand we're going under the total, etc. But we got 4 touchdowns, and we're going to nail all 4 of them. Zamir White at 6-1. Look, again, we're talking about the need for the Raiders to rush. Listed as the number 2 back, getting a couple of carries. We know Josh Jacobs is going to carry the heavy workload of it. But you have to look at this from a bigger picture standpoint, which is how much the Raiders are going to have to run the football, especially if it's just spelling Jacobs down in the goal line. Jacobs goes down, whatever the case. Zamir White's going to be active and going to have a couple of touches there. It could be enough, even if it's a goal line push, it could be enough to get him the ball. And again, the Vegas Raiders are going to have to run so much that you can't just expect Josh Jacobs to carry the football 25 times, 30 touches in the game, and that's it. So we like White to score. Now, notice I didn't give you a first TD at the top. This is the Lindquist least approved play. I checked with it. He shook his head, said, no, I want no part of it. 0. The Eric Lindquist least approved play of the day. You can see Eric on the Discord. There's a link below. You can come and hang on Eric months at a time with Lindquist. You can bother him. You can hit parlays in college. I'm up 30 units to the start of the college and football season, so we'd like for you to come on over. Here it is. Jacoby Myers, league leader, or team leader, I should say. Sorry, team leader in touchdowns. So we'd like his squad to get up. It's not going to be Devontae. Myers has found a knack a little bit with Garoppolo. So that would be the play there, would be Jacoby Myers. First TD at 12-1. Here's the parlay under 43. Garoppolo under 231.5 passing. Pickens over 53.5 receiving. And here are your 4 touchdowns. Pickens anytime. Steelers D anytime. Zamir White anytime. Jacoby. First touchdown. Yeah, we see it, Lindy. We see it. Make sure you sign up at BetMGM and take advantage of that parlay. We'll see you Monday.